Hi, good afternoon. The name of our research is Understanding Community Engagement in a Community-Based Participatory Research Process to Improve the Function of Individuals Living with Musculoskeletal Diseases in a Mayan Yucateco community in Mexico, a qualitative study. As group, we have no conflict of interest to report for this presentation. The learning objective is understand five main factors that are essential to conduct successful engagement between academic and community groups in transcultural research. Musculoskeletal diseases are one of the principal causes of disability worldwide. Indigenous people worldwide have a high prevalence of MSK diseases. This population show higher levels of MSK diseases, severity, and disability. In the Mayan municipality of Chancom, Yucatan, Mexico, MSK diseases are higher prevalent and are strongly associated with the presence of disability. An academic group has been working with Chancom indigenous community to develop a community-based rehabilitation program through a participatory research strategy. The nature of the community engagement process embedded in this type of transcultural participatory research efforts has not been widely studied.
3. Hi. The objective of this study was to understand the community engagement process implemented in Chancom during the design of a CBR program to reduce the disabling effects of MSK diseases. Two anthropologists observed and registered over 90 meetings held between the academic and community groups. These meetings were facilitated by trained community members hired to facilitate engagement. We analyzed the anthropologist meeting reports using Draper's evaluation framework for community participation in health. This framework describes community participation as a continuum, from information sharing or mobilization to collaboration and finally to empowerment. This continuum is implemented through indicators of participation at different moments during the community engagement process, such as the generation of ideas or leadership, the planning of interventions, the monitoring and evaluating interventions, and financial support for engagement and program development. We identify four main themes that describe the community participation and engagement process implemented in this Mayan community. First, the identification of community problems and the roots. Second, the proposal of actions to address community problems. Third, the initial implementation and evaluation of actions to address community problems. And fourth, the financial resources to address community problems. This figure describes the four main themes, and each circle represents the main actors during the engagement process. First, the academic group in orange. Second, the community group in green. And third, the higher trained community workers in blue. The size of each circle represents the level of participation of each group within each theme. If the circle is bigger for academic group, then we have more mobilization. If the circle is bigger for the community or the higher trained community workers groups, then we have more empowerment. Finally, if the circles are balanced among the three groups, then we have more collaboration. During the identification of community problems, there was a balanced level of participation between community, higher trained community workers who mainly identified the problems, and the academic group who identified the roots of these problems, all of which means a predominant collaboration effort. During the proposal and definition of problem solutions, the community group defined community participation strategies, while the academic group defined the objectives and interventions for the CBR program. Higher community workers mainly facilitate the communication between the other two groups during this predominant collaboration effort. During the implementation and evaluation of solutions, the academic group mainly defined the implementation and monitoring strategies of solutions, while the higher community workers provide translation and logistics to implement these solutions, and the community work only oversaw the implementation of these logistics. Consequently, this was mainly a mobilization effort led by the academic group. As for the financial resources to apply solutions, the academic group provides funding to implement most of the solutions identified, while the community and higher community workers groups only contribute with transportation services. Consequently, this was considered also a mobilization effort led by the academic group. Overall, these results suggest that doing engagement for research between academic and community group in transcultural settings requires, first, the understanding of the roots of community health problems before planning any solutions. Second, having trained community workers hired to do community work. Third, consistently developing strategies that integrate community members' perspectives. Fourth, including academic members who are knowledgeable on specific community problems and their solutions. And fifth, establishing solid collaborations between academic and community group for securing funding to address community problems. Thank you.